Por una cabeza, viola. Hi guys, in this video we're going to go over the viola part for Por una cabeza. Now, the viola part in this piece is actually pretty interesting and very challenging as well, unlike some other pieces. In most pieces, the viola part is not as challenging, so there is not much to go over. But in this piece specifically, there is a lot of things that we have to cover. Number one, make sure that you realize which ones are arco, which ones are pizzicato. So acknowledge where you have pizzicato. You could mark them like that, circle it, or color it, highlight them, something so that you know that it's pizzicato. Starting with the notes, we've talked about this. If you can play both notes, that would be very nice. On some other ones, don't risk it, because playing the both notes would actually be pretty tricky. Just, if you're playing the bottom or top on specific ones, that you have to finger for both notes. But on the other ones where you have to only use one finger for one of the notes and the other note is actually open string, then feel free to play both notes, of course. Feel free to play the both notes. Don't forget about the G sharp. That would be low first finger, G sharp. And if you need to write down extra information, by all means, make sure you do it. So when you practice, when you perform it specifically, you have extra clues to look at. That would always help. It's not going to hurt you in any way. So, and then G sharp, A, B, dum, dum, E, D. You could do this if you can. Both notes, G. Moving on, don't forget to play F natural. That's one of the spots that you would be able to do at the same time, which would be G and F natural, and then G and E. Right, so bum, 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 bum. Then right after you start arco. There we go. So you start arco right after that part, so make sure you realize that. And play it with the bowings that I write here, right? Even though there are slurs, but follow the bowings that I have and make sure as you watch the video, you copy it in your music, so then when you practice, you have the same bowings as I do. At A, that's your melody. Very forte, very loud, and make sure you are very precise with your accidentals. Even though the key is G major, the overall key, with one sharp, at A, you are playing your melody in G minor. So F is natural, and B and E are flat. So E flat, which is your first finger, and then another E natural, E flat, D, then G, B, F, F, B, 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 B. All the B's here are flat, and you already know how they go. Moving on from this part, I would suggest you to do either a slur 2 or separate. The priority is to be able to make a very loud and clear sound. So the melody is, right? Now, as you're playing this, if it's going to reduce your sound when you play a slur 4, I would rather have you play a slur 2 and start it up bow. So then you still have a very good loud tone. That's the priority. But if it's difficult, you can start practicing it separately. All the notes separate to the point that you learn the notes so well, then you can do the slurs. Don't do the mordents up here on top of F for now. We may or may not add this after you learn all your notes. Moving on, some of the sequences like this, you have groups of eighth notes. Some others are dotted eighth to 16th followed by another eighth. So C. The ones that are dotted, make sure you hold them a little bit longer. 1 EN, 75% of the beat. Then you play the 16th note that is followed by them. So sometimes they do change. They're not always going to be eighth notes for eighth notes, right? This note, E, that is your fourth finger, which is on the orange tape on A string. Right? Make sure you reach all the way with your fourth. If you need to let go of your first so you can reach easier, it's okay, but don't let go of all your fingers like this. Play that as your fourth. Then continue with the accidentals. Don't forget E flat, low first, F natural, low second, and the rest is as it is. Very, very easy. You just have to pay attention to what accidentals you have. At E, you play whole notes with a bunch of accidentals. Again, just follow what you see. B flat, low second finger. Moving on to the next page. This part is not an issue for you guys, but just so you know, the downbeat of beats 1, 3, and 4 are rests, which means you don't start on the downbeat. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, ta 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 ta, rest note, right? So, rest, 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 right? So, and playing loud, even though there is piano here, there's only 3 violas in the orchestra, so I need you guys to play much, much louder. On all the dynamics that you have, make sure you really exaggerate on them. Moving on, everything stays the same. From here, you play C sharp with either low fourth or high third. I would suggest low fourth. And then normal third. So put your third, definitely use low fourth for this C sharp. Put normal third on C, but low fourth on C sharp. Then let go of the fourth, and your third would be already in place. E, D, triplet, 1, 2, triplet, right? So you already know the rhythm, just make sure you don't get confused. This is the part that you have to shift. So the fingerings for this section. After playing the C with your second finger, of course, when you get to D, you shift up to your first finger. And this would be on blue on A string. Blue, first finger on blue instead of third finger. You usually use your third, but when you shift, after here, you play your first finger on blue. So this would be D on blue, but when you shift, after C, you put your first finger on blue. And your hand position stays exactly the same. C, first on blue, and then you have E, which is orange, and then you have G, which is white after purple. This is white after purple. So blue, orange, white after purple, right? F sharp is on the purple. So third finger, this would be A, E, F sharp, G. So on A, this would be first finger D, E, F sharp, G. White, blue, orange, purple, white. And these are your notes. This is D, G, F sharp, D, and then for B, you shift back down. And you play everything on the first position. This is the note that you shift back down. So 1, 2, 4, 3, 1, and then 1. So write down the fingerings that I write. This would be 1, 3, everything on the first position as it is. Then you follow exactly as you see them. This is another part that you have to shift up to. After open A, you again put first finger on D, and then low second finger on E flat. So first finger on blue, D, then the white would be E flat. Measure 100, E flat. Now F natural would be the white after orange. The white after orange is F natural, and then you would shift back, play B flat with your low first finger. So F, B flat with your low first finger. The rest is on the first position. And then E natural. Then the second E natural, shift up to it. F sharp, G. So let me explain this one more time. Here's where you shift down. Here's where you shift up to third position. E flats, these are also E flats because they're all on the same measure and same register. F natural, right? Here's the note. The ones that I circled are the ones that you have to shift down or up to, right? Then you shift down with your low first finger. G, G, C, E flat, low fourth to D, third finger. And then normal 4, which is, this is natural. This is E natural. So this is on the orange. The second time you play it, you replace your fourth with your second, but you play the same note. That puts you on the third position. Once you're on the third position, third finger on the white, on the purple would be F sharp, and the white after purple would be G. After that's done, do you see the circle? You shift back down to low first finger on G string for B flats. And then thank you. And this one is flashing red, the battery. I think I'm done with this in like a second, and then we can replace it then. It's gonna last about like a minute. So we can just cut that part now. Okay. So as you guys can see, the highest from here. Ready, go from here. So fourth finger would be G, the white after purple, and then you shift back down to low second finger on G string. Then you play the melody ta 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 ta, A B C D E F G. Don't forget E is flat, F is natural, and just follow what you see. Nothing is difficult here. Then B flat, C sharp, so C sharp, high second, low second, and B flat. Then eighth note, quarter, 2 open strings. Like that. Try to play that 8th note as a 16th note and the 8th rest behind it as a dotted 8th rest. So instead of a regular 8th rest, you would treat it as a dotted 8th rest with marcato signs. So that's all I have to say about this piece. Make sure you follow these fingerings that I wrote here for you guys when you have to shift up, when you have to shift down, and learn the notes. If you don't know what name of those notes are with like 3 ledger lines or so, you can write down the name of the notes for those specific ones that you don't know, which are only few, and practice them very slowly. Then you'll be able to play it perfectly fine after practicing them slowly. Just keep in mind to practice slow, absorb all the dynamics, and play loud. Exaggerate on dynamics, specifically you guys, because there's only 3 violas. That's all I have to say about this piece. Have fun practicing, everyone.